Self-acceptance, I think, is something that a lot of people struggle with. But in this specific context, growing up as like the Asian kid and like just not having like in mainstream media and nothing, there was just no one that looked like me. Growing up, there was Milan, but that's also problematic in so many different ways we won't get into. But there just wasn't anybody that looked like me, and like the standard of beauty, of success, of like all of these type of things, nobody had the same color skin as me. And if they did, it was like very problematic portrayals, like, you know, the geek, the math whiz, the nerd, the tiger mom. There's a lot of internalization of like not wanting to be Asian, not wanting to be Chinese, wanting to be white in a sense, just because of wanting to fit in and having all of those messages inherent. Yeah, so there's a lot of things like self-acceptance that's really hard when we've internalized so much of just that, of not being enough, of not being people in positions of power, not being people who are like entertainment wise, not being the main character for any of like movies or books. It's starting to be a little bit better nowadays, but there's still a lot of like subtle racist and discriminatory stuff that happens. Self-acceptance is being able to, and it's not always loving ourselves. Self-acceptance is acknowledging that there are things I do like about myself, and there are things that I might not, that I hate or I don't want to show to the world. But it's about accepting all of those things that make up who you are. So even if like they're like really, you know, like really dark and murky, or much more lighter, or like, you know, some things like you can show off in the world and things like that. So that's self-acceptance. And being able to do that doesn't mean the world is going to change how they see you, but it's how you feel inside, in your body, in how you talk, in the way your body changes. You slowly start to embrace it, and your body language changes. The way you speak changes. The way you relate to yourself changes. And it's very subtle, but it affects so much of how a person sees himself. In the same situations where before and after, kind of like being able to really embrace who you are and all the different parts of yourself. Even if it's the same situation, it feels entirely different. Yeah, it just because of that simple, I mean, it's not simple. It's a simple idea that's hard to achieve.